I want to welcome you back to Black Site. Tonight, we're going to talk about Phylicia Rashad has to apologize for supporting Bill Cosby at Howard University. First, I would like for you to subscribe to this channel, hit that like button, hit that notification button, but also comment on this video. Phylicia Rashad, an alumni of Howard University, now a dean of students at Howard University, has to apologize for supporting Dr. Bill Cosby, a man who was wrongfully convicted and his case was vacated by the Pennsylvania Supreme Court. I believe this is the first time that a wrongly convicted black man has been under this scrutiny by the liberal white media, that this sister, one of the most respected black women in America, has to apologize for standing up for what's right. She's being not only attacked by white liberals, white conservatives, but our own. In the Howard University, a so-called black institution, disavowed Mrs. Rashad for supporting a wrongfully convicted man. What kind of message does that send to the rest of us across America? It basically says that Howard University is no longer a prestigious black university. It belongs to the white supremacists. It belongs to the leftists, progressives. It belongs to the LGBTQ community, but it damn sure don't belong to the black community. Mrs. Rashad stood by Bill Cosby ever since this ordeal started. She stood by him because she knew his character, the man that she dealt with, him and Camille, over the past 30 years. And she felt as though this man was being wrongfully put in front of the judicial system, because I personally believe, not her, it could be, that they wanted to break another black man down. They wanted to lynch another black man. But see, remember, they can't lynch you today, but what they'll do, they'll destroy your legacy and make your own people hate you. And what's so painful about this situation is to see our own join the lynching. To see a punk like Mark Lamont Hill, to see Michael Eric Dyson, Joy Reid, Brittany Cooper, Janet Huber, Tatiana Ali, and so many others link arms with the white supremacists in 2021 to hang a man who should not have even been prosecuted. That's what's said in the court documents. I'm not saying it. And to see them turn their fire on Phylicia Rashad because she put out a tweet supporting a man that she respects and loves. This makes me sick. And to see a university fold to the pressure of the liberal white media and those who donate to the schools. What they should have said, we support Phylicia Rashad's free speech. And that should have been it. She's an alumni of this school. She has represented this school to the highest levels. And we support her 100%. That should have been the statement. Not disavowing what she says, because liberal white society doesn't like that this man was released from prison. See, with them, they'll tell us who to vote for, who should be free, who should not be free. You know what? They castigate O.J. Simpson, now Bill Cosby. It's going to be R. Kelly and whoever else they can put in front of American media because they want to be the ones who are the real judge and jury, which is called mob justice. And that's what you're seeing on TV every night. So anyone who happens to be around the orbit of Bill Cosby, anyone who lended him a little bit of support, they will be punished. And they're trying to make an example out of Phylicia Rashad, basically saying, if we say he's guilty, he's guilty. And if you get out of line, you'll get the Phylicia Rashad treatment. See, this is nothing but buck breaking. The same thing you saw with Nick Cannon. The same thing you've seen with so many others. See, our problem is that with our own, we will turn our backs on our own just to get a few accolades, a few crumbs off Master's table. But when it comes down to it, once he's done with you, he's done. It is all over. Phylicia Rashad showed something about being on code and being loyal. This is not the man that they say. Bill Cosby grew up in an era in which sex, drugs, and so-called rock and roll was part of the scene. You had Hugh Hefner, Regis Philbin, James Caan, Jim Brown, and so many other men who hung out at the Playboy Mansion. And they did all kind of things in that era. But it seems like Bill Cosby is the only one who is being tried, not convicted. Convicted by the mainstream media. But when it comes to someone like a Cardi B who openly said that she drugged men and stole their money, you didn't see not one investigation opened up. But you see them 24 hours a day going after Bill Cosby and his beautiful sister, Phylicia Rashad. We have lost our black institutions. They have now fallen in the hand, like I said earlier, of the liberal white progressive, the LGBTQ community. And when I knew this whole thing with these HBCUs was over with, is when Morehouse College accepted the LGBTQ agenda. A school that is a Baptist school, more or less a seminary school, except men walking around their campuses dressed like women. There should be a standard for certain institutions like that. But for the money, the dollars, they were willing to throw everything the institution stood for some money. So now you got men portraying themselves as women walking around in high heels, dresses. These schools right now have no standards. Their standards sit at the plate of progressivism. When Phylicia Rashad came up, they believed in standing for something that was right. The school of Thurgood Marshall and other leaders who stood on the right hand of justice. Now these schools stand on the left hand of injustice. Howard University should be ashamed of themselves. And if they happen to fire Phylicia Rashad, if she happens to resign from that university, we should not make any donations to that institution again. This is an institution who is willing to put everything in support Kamala Harris, a woman who helped put thousands of black men in prison. They even supported her when black men were supposed to be released from prison. She kept them there because the states wanted to make more money off of them. But when it comes to Phylicia Rashad, a woman who's standing up for what's right, a woman who is standing up for justice, she gets pillared by the mainstream media. The media in this country is corrupt as hell. They have an agenda. Their agenda is one, liberalism and socialism and progressivism. But the second one is if there any Negro who gets out of line, we will put them back in line. And Phylicia Rashad had to learn the hard way, but she already knew. But she didn't think her contemporaries would also join the high-tech lynching, not only of Bill Cosby, but of her. This is really sad. It's disgusting, but it shows you how far this university has fallen to where you have to answer to the media, the Washington Post, the New York Times, MSNBC, and all the other alphabet media networks. We should stand tall, but it also exposes to the community who are the real operatives, who's the real ops in our community. Because when a time like this happens with a Phylicia Rashad, see, they can't attack her on their own. They need their operatives to come out and attack Phylicia Rashad. And you see, they all came out in one whole swoop to attack this sister, disavow her, try and destroy her reputation. And I am so angry that she had to pen a tweet, pen a letter to apologize for anything that she had to say. All she did was support the so-called system that we supposed to believe in. And to listen to some of these ridiculous Negroes come after her, come after Bill Cosby. The focus should have been on that Bill Cosby was wrongfully prosecuted. He should have never been prosecuted. Everybody knew that. But they wanted his head on a platter, like they wanted Michael Jackson's head on a platter. These are some bloodthirsty suckers. Enough is enough. We gonna have to stand tall in this country, or I'm just gonna flat out say it. We done. Because if we don't get rid of these ops or operatives before the battle starts, they will sell us out for 40 pieces of silver and a few crumbs off the table. I want to thank you for listening to Black Site. I hope you subscribe to this channel. Smash that like button, but also share this video.